Wow, wow, wow. Bitcoin does not stop to break higher and higher. And now the question is, how high can we actually go after we broke here crucial resistance levels while we are going higher? I'm gonna show you my final target, what I believe Bitcoin is capable of pulling off before we see a deeper retracement. And if you want to know what this last big trade opportunity is that we have here before we see a major correction, then you should stick around here. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, you like this video, also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let me show you what I found. So I want to start off with the funding rates. So the funding rates are now again a little bit getting overheated here. For example, on Solana across the board, they are super overheated already. On Bitcoin, not that much. That's why Bitcoin has still the potential to go here a little bit higher, because we have here some neutral ones, then quite low ones, then again neutral, low, in our favor ones, and then here again kind of okay ones. So there's a healthy mix right now, and that is actually giving Bitcoin the opportunity to go here higher based on the funding rates, because there's not a big difference between spot and futures, so there's no huge premium, and hence the funding rates are not showing any indication that because of the spread between spot and futures that we should see a massive correction for now. It doesn't mean it cannot happen, but just based on the funding rates, I don't see any indication that we should get worried just now about this. Here on the CME chart, while we're speaking about futures, so we of course still have that massive CME gap while Bitcoin continues to go higher. And here I want to point out, Bitcoin has done this in the past, that it left futures gaps either for a couple of weeks open or never came back to it. And we have a potential scenario now where this might be the case, that we are not coming back to fill this for quite a while, even though I still believe that on the way down we will come and fill it. The question is, will we fill it completely, will we fill it partially? That's something I don't know yet, but we will definitely come down and step into that CME gap, in my opinion. Even on the futures chart, I told you yesterday that we were shaping up here that pennant, and that could break to the upside, which is happening right now. And then we had here another continuation pattern. Remember, I told you, when you see a continuation pattern like this, you can trade this in an uptrend every single time unless it's not working anymore. So you did not need to do much, just draw two lines and for establishing support and resistance, wait for the break and trade it to the upside. If I would treat this here now again as a bullish pennant, just on the futures chart, you will get an idea where we are heading. There's already $47,160 just on the CME, which is not interesting for us, and I'm gonna show you now why. First of all, you see here on the 50 minutes chart, the trade that I gave you yesterday, even with that super tight invalidation for the stop loss, is playing out insanely well for us. I just got a little bit worried when I saw here this downwards trend. So here, this downwards trending channel. Therefore, a little bit I got worried that we actually see now something like this here happening, but we didn't. Now we have a small correction because we were testing the new yearly highs, which is fine, which was over $44,000. We're still close to 44. So absolutely fine for me. The stochastic is overheated, wants to correct a little bit. Also absolutely fine with me. So I still believe that we're going to reach the target here of $44,800. Once we're reaching that, I also believe that we will go higher. And I'm going to show you in a second what my next target is and where you can enter for that specific trade. Here on this 4-hourly chart, you see Bitcoin is going absolutely parabolic. So here you see how insanely parabolic we are going. So this cannot go on forever, you know. So we are at the point where we're going vertically up, and everything that goes up needs to come down. So once we are starting to break the parabolic curve, which can be really soon, we might see either another sideways consolidation, or we are starting distribution and start to go here to the downside. Here on the volatility index, the only thing I wanted to show you is, remember that I told you when the volatility index here starts to roll over and is in alignment with the historical volatility, then usually we get the correction. Right now they're contradicting itself, which is fine, because that means we are not done yet with that move here to the upside. but we are close to it. So we are really, really close to it, in my opinion. That does not mean that we cannot move here another $3,000, $4,000 to the upside, but we are getting close to the finish line, and it might be in the next 7 days that we are getting our end of year high, and then next year we will create a new one. Here on the liquidations, what we can observe is that there is basically nobody anymore there to get liquidated. So there is here some 10x leverage short level, but it's not a lot. So the liquidity is massively sitting here beneath us. Okay, here's a 3x short liquidation level. It might be get taken out because it could be a massive huge position. Somebody trying to short it with 3x from that level up here. So that might be a big player, and yeah, maybe this one will get taken out. But otherwise, liquidity is now to the downside, so we should shift to the downside quite soon, in my opinion. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm long-term bullish on Bitcoin. You know me, I just like to keep things real and I tell you what I believe is going most likely to happen here next. I don't want to sugarcoat anything, and that's why I'm telling you, there is no money to be taken here anymore to drive the price higher. The only thing that could still continue to push the price higher is if massively the retail market steps in and just keeps going. You know, so that possibility is on the table. I just don't see it right now. So, but it could happen. So, and otherwise, there's technically no fuel left to go higher. So, and that's why I'm telling you that for a price to move in a volatile manner, liquidity is beneath us, and there is where market makers make their money. Then here on the liquidation heat map, we can look how much money can be actually still be taken all the way up to $46,000, but it is not crazy. So here, okay, here's 46 million, 50 million, maybe we get 100 million, maybe even 150 million, something like that together. So what is here beneath us, above us? Oh, wow, we might actually get, okay. Oh, okay, there's still around 300 million in shorts that can be taken, more or less. But here to the downside, there's way more. Here, look at this. So I'm counting here already over 300 million to the downside. So only if we go down to, let's say, $40,000, there's at least 500 million or more to be taken here on these levels here. Yeah. So there's almost $1 billion to be taken if we move 10% to the downside. And that shows you that right now it would not make sense to open a massive long position. You can scalp for the rest of the way to the top. Yes, that's something that I would do. But opening a long-term long position makes at that level no sense when you know that here is a point of interest to move the price to the downside at least 8%. And here you have then to look again at the charts and see how price is reacting. So we could get a bounce from there back to the upside. But I think that this bounce would be also short-lived and we would then still break this level and go lower. No, that's the wrong chart. So here on this chart, I'm going to show you the next potential targets that we have for Bitcoin, because we have now broken a really important level, 43,000, what is it? $181 was here on this daily chart a level that we have broken. The only thing that I don't like is price broke here the highs, but the RSI did not. So if the RSI is not coming up by tomorrow to at least 87%, we might get already our move here to the downside. So be prepared for that. So because here is a bearish divergence, it has not played out yet. Only because the price is breaking here, this upward sloping trend line means nothing, because the RSI needs to break this downward sloping trend line and create a new high on it. So it is a good sign that we are breaking above that line now, but it is not convincing for me just yet, because I can potentially still, yeah, you see, I can still move this like this and still have all these touches. So we are just at the edge right now to get above it. So if we manage to push here higher today, another $800, $900, then we are definitely above it. And tomorrow we might see then here one last candle go to the upside, and then the RSI will also reflect that. But if not, get ready, guys. Get ready, guys. I'm just telling you, so we are at a really important level right now. Especially if this candle stays as it is, we could get an evening star pattern, morning star pattern, where we see here then the next candle going down like this tomorrow, and that would be then a topping indication, and I will start shorting from there. I will start shorting to specific levels that I'm going to show you in a moment. So, but if not, if we see tomorrow's candle moving here higher, then the next technical targets is $48,195, and we can go as high as $51,400 approximately. So now, how would I trade this? I would wait now, if you want to trade this, that here $44,200 would be broken, and then that would be the last long that I would be taken, and I would do it with a small position size. If you want to trade this to $51,000 all the way up to you, you can do that. So you see this is a 16% move to the upside that you can potentially still grab here with a really small invalidation. So you make here, it's 1 to 33.88 risk to reward ratio. So that is a 16% move. If you use 20x leverage, that's over 3x your money, 3.2x your money. You use $1,000, you make $3,200 on that move here. You see I have a tight stop loss here at $43,900 approximately. Yeah, it was also down here quite tight, and you see it worked perfectly, because at any given moment this can turn around and bite you, so that's why we have really tight stop losses here to make sure if this turns around that we don't lose a lot of money. That's why I have right now super tight stop losses on these Bitcoin trades. So just wait for in 1 hour, a 30 minutes candle closed above $44,200, then you can enter this trade and trade to potentially $51,000. Don't forget, if you want to trade somewhere, do it on BYBIT. There you still get $30,000 absolutely for free for using my specific link, or on BitGet also $30,000 absolutely for free, and 20% on your initial deposit, which you can use for trading purposes, and then you can withdraw the profits that you generated out of it. And I have a new exchange partner where you get up to $100,000 in bonuses for signing up, and that is FAIRDESK. And on FAIRDESK you can also copy trade me. So you see I have here a small trade open right now. It's a really small one, just to try out the platform. So I'm here on link $30 in a profit. It will turn a profit. I'm not concerned about it. Yeah, I'm 1% down because I use a 20x leverage. So I actually like it. It's quite similar to BYBIT and Phemex. I cannot say anything about the liquidity yet. I'm still trying out the platform, but you will find also in the description below a link to FAIRDESK if you want to copy trade me for a short, or a mid-term period while I'm testing out the platform. You can copy trade every single trade that I'm going to do there, because I want to try out the platform. So and you find me there. Actually, I will leave information in the description, because I haven't set up yet my own personal page there for copy trading everything, so I have to set up. But I'm gonna do that while my editor is working on the video. So once the video is coming out, you should be able to see in the description below the link to FAIRDESK with also the copy trading option. So definitely check that out. I want to go back to this daily chart here, because here you see also here's still some other key levels that are pointed out. And I would start, if I get into a trade position that I just pointed out, I would take profits on each single one of them. 46,200, 47,200, 48,500, and then the final one, then again at 50, and then at the final one, 51,400. So you have 5 take profit points. On each I would take 20%, and I would at least raise my stop loss to when we are reaching 47 to 46,200. So in that case, worst case, you will still be stopped out with a nice profit. So here, 44,200. So you see, if you trade with 20x, you would at least double your money if you would get stopped out at that point. If we're not continuing to go higher, even after you took the 20 initial percent already off the table. So that's why I'm telling you that is, for me, a good trade if we are able to catch it and if Bitcoin also plays along for us. Then you're on the weekly chart. So here is that key level that I've talked about that we are about to break here on a weekly chart. It is still questionable for me if we close the weekly candle as it is here, but if we would close it like this, it would be insane in my opinion. That would be the most bullish close, weekly close for me for the whole year, even though it's not the highest one, but the most bullish one because of that crazy level that we broke here of 42,150, 43,574 approximately. Because it will give us the opportunity, no matter what indicators are saying, that next week we see a push here into 47 and 48. And then next week's candle might create a wick to 50. And then we're going to come down. So now you're asking yourself, how low will we might come? So if we are reaching 48 or $51,000, the area that I believe we're going to bounce from is $37,000, $36,000. The higher we go, the less likely it becomes that we come back to like $31,000. It will be the next highest level, which was a key area, and that was here, 37,300, 37,900. That area here that had to be broken. We took 4 weeks to break it, and it shows you how significant that level was to get to $40,000 and above. So that's why that will be the key level to be that needs to be watched. We could get a wick to like 35,900, but I believe that we will close then the weekly candle once we're getting that drop above $37,500, $38,000. When we're looking at the USDT dominance, that one is still declining. Today we are, hanging in the middle, but overall still going down, which is nice. And we saw some major altcoins pumping already because of it. I can imagine that we could potentially see tomorrow a small bounce here to the upside because we went here now 6 consecutive days down. So at some point we need to bounce, So I would not be surprised if tomorrow altcoins would bleed a little bit and dominance would gain a little bit to come back up here and then roll over and continue to go lower. I would not surprised to be seeing that. Then here, the total crypto market cap, that is crazy now. So we are in altcoin season area, in that resistance area. So I don't believe that we are breaking through that just yet, unless Bitcoin goes to $50,000, $51,000. Then we could break through it. But again, I also still believe that we will just wick through it. We will not close the candle above it. If we would close it above it, then we have already a massive altcoin season, which would be nice, but also not healthy. Because look here, since October, we're just going up. Also here, so we have here more or less a parabolic curve in the total market cap, and that also cannot go on like this forever. So we need to see here 1-2 correctional candles and then come up and break this to the upside. The Bitcoin dominance has broken the 54.4% level. I did not expect that. Now, because we have broken it, there is the possibility that we're going to touch 57.15, which is also fine for me if we do that, because alts bleeding against Bitcoin, many alts running with Bitcoin in dollar terms. So I'm trading in dollar terms right now, my altcoins, so I'm absolutely fine with that. If they bleed against Bitcoin for the time being, take advantage of the dollar value going up with the Bitcoin dominance. But that is a level, in my opinion, and I lean myself here a little bit out of the window, will not be broken, in my opinion. It's just too high. Even if we get to $51,000, I don't see it getting broken. We might touch it, but I don't even see us wicking through it. I just don't see it. I believe that either before we are reaching a level we get stopped, or we are briefly touching it and then rolling over and coming back down. So, but don't get me wrong here. if this is coming down, I don't see that altcoins immediately will take advantage of that. I think they're going to bleed with Bitcoin when Bitcoin rolls over, and the dominance too. And then the dominance will get a small push it to the upside again because Bitcoin will bounce at some point. And then when the dominance is rolling over again, that is the moment where the altcoins start insanely running. So what you have seen now is nothing. Trust me, it's nothing. We're going to see the real run when Bitcoin came down, has corrected, got its bounce, and then you see the dominance rolling over, and that might be then at 54%, and we will then potentially only go all the way to like 50% for the time being. So around 50%, I will be starting to look profits on my altcoins for all the positions that I'm going to take from here. Then I want to touch really quick on Ethereum, because we are also here about to break some key levels. So here on the weekly chart, I basically want to show you what is the next logical target here for Ethereum. And you see we are here at a key level right now. We have here potentially a really big W pattern on the weekly chart. So if I treat this like a W pattern, see, the technical target for this would be $3,347. But because $3,000 is a psychological mark, I want to take profit at $3,000 here. But first, we need to break $2,600. If we reach that target, that would be already amazing, because that is the longest VPVR level that we have still left. Everything else got already smashed through it. If we are breaking through that, then $3,000 becomes a realistic target to the upside. But also on the weekly chart, we are here heavily overextended on the stochastic RSI. So also here we might have only a couple days left to reach these kind of targets. So if I move then here to a 4-hourly chart, then you see we are already here in a corrective move. Now we moved here to $2,314 today, but here we are struggling to stay above $2,280 for the time being. I believe as long as we are holding above $240, Ethereum will remain bullish and continue its uptrend, no matter what the indicator is saying. So also here, we had here a small consolidation phase with a breakout to the upside. So if I treat this here also as a bull flag, see here the next technical target is $2,500 approximately. Yeah, if I put it up here, yeah, more or less. So I would, if you're not in a trade yet, just wait that 2,281 will be flipped at a 30 minutes chart with a 30 minutes close above it. That would be my entry point, and then you can trade this to $2,500. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. Sorry that it took so long. I tried to keep it shorter in the future for you. But thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.